Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading on Sunday, April 27, 2025. These criminals, these pilots with licenses, they've given me an unusual kind of a rainbow here. It almost looks like one of those Freemason arches that they do all over the place. Yeah, they like those Freemason arches like the one that they put on the county road there. Right, you see that letter V there with all that gravel? That useless gravel that was poured down the county road when that little bridge collapsed. There's no rebar under that bridge. Yeah, they do really good job around here building stuff that they don't build to last, but they spent a lot of money on tons and tons of rock that serves no useful purpose in harassing me, trespassing my property in Jackson County, Kentucky, right there. You see that? And that is Masonic. These are the Freemason Loser Club, and that's what I call them because they are losers. Any kind of men, grown men that wear little aprons and stuff, and they've got these little secrets and stuff that like to torment people without showing their face, those are losers. Those are the losers of the planet. They need to be annihilated. Here, look at this. This is just another evidentiary video of what they're doing to the skies here. It was blue this morning, and you probably saw that short video that I posted earlier today. But I also wanted to thank you. Sumi, you want to say thank you for listening to the chat last night, joining in while you knocked on my door several times. Oh, there goes one. Here comes a criminal. Check it out, guys. Driving a little fast down the county road. They don't want to get caught in the video, but it's very breezy here, and it was cold overnight. It was like 42 degrees. I actually had to turn on the heat in the Cats building. It was so chilly. But I woke up hotter than hell, even in a room with no heat on. But anyway, thank you all for joining in the chat last night, the live stream. So we chatted a little bit about why people are chosen as targets, and some of those reasons were because you know too much, you're too smart, you're too intuitive, you're too curious, you're too psychic, you're too empathic, you feel things from other people, you intuit things from other people, you see things around in your environment that others don't see. Sort of like when I post videos of these of my landscape here. And then there's always one or two of you that says, oh, did you see that cloaked person behind the tree over there? And that's why I like to record here, and that's why they blur. That's why they blur the video. They don't want you to see the inhuman terrain team that lives on my property. Yeah, and it is called real estate mobbing, property mobbing. Real estate and property mobbing, make no mistake. And everybody's in on it. The neighbors, the county lawyer, the sheriff's department, they're all in on it. Money is funded from the Department of Justice to the community watch groups that are funneled through the state. There's no oversight to these programs. And then you've got your fusion centers, 80 of them across the United States, funded with your tax dollars that collect information all around you. No due process to the individuals they collect information on. They'll hack your computer, hack your phone. Like this morning when I tried to upload that video, they actually intercepted my phone keyboard. And it's not the phone, because they've done it to all of my phones. They did it in New Jersey, they did it here in Kentucky, mostly here in Kentucky, and then my mother's phone, which I hardly ever use. So, and I want to show you, this is what happened yesterday, but I'm just leaving it there. I'll just show you. People around here like to litter. This is why they're low-class white trash. And not that people don't litter in other cities and states and whatever, but if you care about your roads, if you care about your community, you want to not only keep it safe, but you want to keep it clean. You want to be proud of your city. You want to be proud of your county. but they can't feel good or proud again about their city, their state, their county, their country, because they hate themselves. They don't like themselves. So because they don't like themselves, they have to project that. They have to project it onto everybody around them. And those are the kinds of people that are ripe for the picking to be a community harassment stalker, organized harassment cops program, you know, the wannabes of the world. Like they never went to school to become a cop. It's like, oh yeah, give me a fake badge and I'll go watch that 66-year-old woman. Ha ha ha. It's so much fun. So this is what somebody did yesterday. And here, this is mimicking the sky. And this is what they did to my property here. So you saw that arch. And they did the arch on my driveway when I first moved here. The same arch is up here. And somebody did this last night. I saw them do it. Car drove by and just left this box here. And this is why people are unhealthy here. This is what they eat. That's what they eat. Come on, Zumi, let's go this way. And then they damaged the county road only outside of my property here. So they damaged the road here. Here. They damaged the road here. This looks like that monster symbol. They damaged the road here. All here. Only opposite my property. You go down to my neighbors left and right. There's nothing there. And look at this slop mess that Judge Gabbard authorized. Look at that. Look at that gaping hole in the concrete. Is that unbelievable? You'd see it a little bit better. Oh, well, look at that. They're blurring it. They don't want you to see. They're blurring it. Yeah. So, and this is what they've done to my gate. They do to all my gates. They scrape the paint off. They scrape the paint off of all my gates. Silverwood, Chevy Silverwood, or whatever that is. But this is what they do to my gate. Scrape the paint off. Now they could either do this with an energy weapon or a tool. But this is what they've done to the gate. So this is what it looks like. It's called property mobbing, real estate mobbing. But also I wanted to also thank you all for listening to the chat last night. I had to leave the chat a couple of times, and then I had some technical difficulties. And this has happened before, where I have an unstable network connection. Now, I spend a lot of money on my internet connection, so this should not be happening. Like, I don't have the basic internet connection. Like, I have like the 3rd level up. So it should not be happening at all. So I apologize for that. When that happens, I think everybody was buffering. I couldn't communicate with you guys. I couldn't even write anything in the chat to let you know what was happening. So it would go silent there for a while. And thank you to all the moderators that moderated. There was one person that unfortunately was moderated whose comments were removed. He was very upset by it. I don't know if somebody thought that he was a perp. I don't know. I was a little confounded with what was going on my end. Also trying to locate information and get into my email at the same time. And my screen totally froze for long periods of time. So thank you, moderators. Here comes Zoomy. Say hi. Say hi. Say, just please tell me you're not the father of those kittens. Just please tell me. Somebody said that, I look behind Zoomy and it doesn't look like he's got anything there. Like, I know, like, the little jinglies, he doesn't have them. But then somebody in the comment section said, well, it's possible that his never dropped. I mean, he's not aggressive or anything. He doesn't act like a feral cat at all. He acts so much like a house cat, except that he likes to go outside. But, like, you could see, like, he looks like he's neutered. But meanwhile, I've got 2 kittens that look just like him. So, I don't know. I'm confused. But it's beautiful out, except that they're destroying the skies. Like, I wanted to come out here and enjoy the sun. I don't want to be out here with this shit all in the sky. And it's breezy, so this stuff, right? This stuff is going to be blowing all over the place. Look. I also wanted to mention something else. I really want to move. You all know I want to move. And I can divide this property. I do have that section over there, you know, next to my lovely neighbors. Although where you would build would be far enough away from them and they won't bother you. But that's 3.1 acres. And then in cumulative, it's 64. A little more than 64 acres. I will pay anybody 1% of the selling price if you find me a buyer that results in a sale. I will pay you 1% of the sale commission, cash. So for any targeted person out there, any person period out there, oh, there goes a hawk, who finds me a buyer for my property, I would be thrilled because I do want to move from here. It's a lot. It's too much for me to take care of. And with the criminals not harassing me lately, it is beautiful. It's nice and quiet and whatever, but I'm still being tormented by the terrain team destroying my property and radiating me every night. Like I wake up vibrating, my whole body's vibrating, and they are poisoning my food for sure. Totally dehydrated, sort of like that woman whose video I posted from Australia. I mean, you could see when somebody's targeted. You can see the expression on their face, how long they've been targeted, and it shows on a person's face. You can immediately tell when somebody's not targeted or they're a very new targeted person, you know, maybe a couple of years in. Because by the time you're, you know, 8, 10, 12, 20 years in, you've aged tremendously. You're dehydrated, you don't look like the same person, you lack sleep, and they are tormenting my trees here, doing horrible things. They're tearing up the root system, completely changing the terrain of my property, all up here. I used to be able to freely walk up there, and they have made the incline so steep that it's difficult. So they have literally raked away, burned away the soil, the root systems, the plants, and you could see that there's nothing growing up there. Normally this time of the year, that is completely covered with greenery. But it's not, because they've scraped it all away. They've created a lot of fake erosion there, just the way they have done behind here. And yes, it is property mobbing. Let me show you else what they've done. As long as I have you here. So it is a beautiful day, except for the chemtrails. And here's Popcorn. Popcorn is definitely the father of the first set of kittens. Because the one that they unalived, the little 2-month-old one that they unalived, looks just like Popcorn. Popcorn, you want to say hi? And I'm leaving my Chase Lounge like this is evidence. You want to say hi, Popcorn? No? I noticed Popcorn was limping a little bit. I don't know if somebody hurt him, if he got into a fight with another cat. And this is what they've done to my driveway, by the way. They planted all these weeds. All these weeds. It's become a total nightmare disaster because it's so difficult to maintain. And I heard somebody else on another channel say, you know, you expect that when you do something to your property that you're going to wake up and it's going to stay that way. But when you're a targeted person and they're trying to steal your land and setting it up to do that for 6 years, they're doing everything inhumanly possible to destroy everything that I created. So they have destroyed this water catchment. And yeah, this is all going to be documented. They sliced it down here. They did the other water catchment also. Before they did that, they sliced the hoses. They rusted. And these are all brand new. I'm only here 6 years. But they did this before, 5 years. They have, I'll show you here. They have completely dug this up. They want to make it look like my birds did it. My birds didn't do this. They did it. And I've got before and after photos, by the way. And this is what they've done, and this is why I covered it up here. This is new. This is recent. They're tearing up all the wood planks here. Travis Sparks didn't build like this. Travis Sparks does not build like this, and this is what they've done here. And you can see that they've actually burned it. You can see the evidence here that they have burned. They've burned it, scorched. Like, is that enough evidence for you? And this is what they've done to the wood here. I've had people come here tell me that this wood is so heavy and hard. It's so even difficult to put a screw or a nail in. It's that kind of wood. But these criminals are destroying it. And this is what they've done here. You see the hole here? They made a hole here. There's another hole. The holes everywhere. Here, look, a hole over here. Holes everywhere. They have dug up underneath here to expose all the roots and cut the root system of this tree. You notice how it's blurring? So here's the water running. This is the stream behind my house, not the creek, the stream. And this is what they've done to my wire, my barbed wire. They cut it. They cut the barbed wire here. They cut it all here. This was across. They cut it here so that it's sticking out. They cut it here. They cut all the wiring here. Hey, Zoomy. All of this rock here, you see all this rock? This was not here. This they dug out from underneath all of here to raise up the waterbed, so that they're trying to flood my property to cause an environmental disaster. And I know my property. I've lived here long enough, and I'm not an idiot. I know what they're doing. So hi, guineas. They've done the same thing to this gate you can see here. This gate I painted last year, and they took the paint off of this as well. And here's the stream on this side, and on this side they have completely dug out all the soil and rock from here and here. And you can see it's blurring. They don't want you to see what they've done here. So I'm going to go here and show you the fake erosion. This is all fake erosion right here. They scraped all of this up. This was all grass. And then I'm going to show you here. Come on, Zoomy, come with me. Let me just show you over here what they did. And this is just getting progressively worse. And this is not from any rain that we've had. And you can see the difference. Okay, this is what it looks like naturally. What it looks like naturally is you've got all this foliage growing everywhere. It's beautiful. All the foliage everywhere. But not here. You want to know why? This was all dug up by these criminals. They dug it all out. They dug it all out. I'll show you up close. To change the flow of the water. Look what they've done. You can see how compact this is: clay, silt, rock, and they dug it all out, exposing the root system, making it look like an eyesore. This is what they've done. And you can see that it's deliberate. It's not natural because this is what it normally looks like. This is what it usually looks like. But they've dug it all out here. It's unnatural. Hey Zoom, you want to say hi? Hi. Say hi. Say hi. Say they're mean. They're evil, mean people. Jealous loser people. There was a comment. Somebody on Quora tagged me to answer a question. I'm not going to answer it. I'll answer it here. The question is, what will the gang stalkers do, or how will they feel when you are, quote unquote, gone? And then they specifically wrote, gone can mean different things. Oh, well, that sounds like a gang stalker question, right? Okay, you mean when we move? When we move, well, of course, they're going to miss their income. They'll miss their income when we move away. They won't be banking on us anymore. They'll have to look for another victim, right? But they will have already been forewarned about these criminals. Oh, and what will they do if we pass away prematurely, like Andrew Boswell at age 51? Well, they'll still have to look for another victim because these are addicts. They're obsessive and compulsive. They depended on you for fuel and loosh and money, income. When you're gone, they lose it. Doesn't matter why you're gone. They may get some kind of a little bonus if they are totally responsible for either offing you or getting you to move. But I can assure you that there isn't one person around here that has instigated my wanting to move from here. It's cumulative and has a lot to do with the land. It's a lot of work. I'm not young anymore. If I were in my 40s, I'd probably stick it out and stay here and get some people to live with me. But there are a lot of things I still want to do in my life. And my mother lived to 83. My grandmother until her 90s. I mean, according to ChatGPT, and look at all these holes, ChatGPT says I should live to my late 80s to 90s. And ChatGPT even said if I slept more, I could live longer. So that is what would be my normal life expectancy. But I did not tell ChatGPT that I'm being radiated every night. I did say that my neighbors are harassing me. And there's trespassing and vandalism and all that regular stuff that a lot of other people who aren't targeted experience. But of course, targeted people receive it on a regular basis. Daily in some cases. Some of you guys are very fortunate that nobody ever breaks into your home. Nobody's stealing from you. You're just getting the street theater and maybe work sabotage. You're not getting everything. Some people are getting everything, I think. I think if you own property, you're going to get everything because they're going to do everything inhumanly possible to get you out of that property so they can bank on it. But like I've said, I've been through this rodeo before. When I lived at 52 Sutton Drive, Manalapan, New Jersey, a home I lived in for 30 years as original owner. And I lost a lot of money on that house. I should not have. I should have left that house with what I did to it, what I invested, all the antiques and stuff, being a millionaire. I should have been a millionaire after selling that house and renovating it and all the things that I did. But instead, I was asset stripped $300,000 in repairs, damages, $14,000 plus in dollars and cents. My cats, vet bills, I mean, it's really unestimable, the amounts. I probably lost $500,000 on that house when I should have been up more than that because I lived there for so long and invested so much into it. But that's what these criminal losers do. They're envious and jealous, greedy, envious and jealous. But it's going to happen to them too. And you know what? My neighbors next door, their house is much bigger than mine. And they have much more property than me. You think that if they coming after my property, they're not going to go after theirs? They've got way more than I do. Oh, no, right, but they like to target single people that live alone because it's so much more fun, because they're cowards. They like to prey on single people living alone. They're predators. They're sadistic. They have a predatory mindset. And yes, people have left comments down below that these people are sadistic. They receive sadistic pleasure. And I do have a video on the sadistic personality disorder. I also have a video that my theory is that targeted individuals are also a sexual paraphilia for these people. A paraphilia is a fetish. Okay, so there are various fetishes. And targeted people fulfill many of their perverted fetishes. And yes, these perversions are at the highest level of government. As we know from Kay Griggs, the ex-military wife, whose 3-hour testimonies on my channel. Look for Kay, K-A-Y, Griggs, G-R-I-G-G-S. Excellent, excellent testimony. And she's hilarious. And actually, if you don't want to listen to the 3 hours, listen to the first 7 minutes. She'll tell you all about these people in a nutshell. Yeah, she'll tell you that they're all perverted. They're bisexual or gay. They hate women. They're very immature. They're addicts. That's just to name a few. I name a few of the special characteristics they possess. So I'm going to get off my rant here. I mean, it's kind of nice that there is some sun even through these trails. I don't like to be outside when they're spraying because obviously I'm going to inhale this stuff, and my chickies are having fun, and I have to do a little video for Grub Terra. Yes, and maybe I'll go and get that now after I upload this before the sun disappears. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Thank you also for listening to the chat with that creepy voice in the background. If anybody has the kinds of software or ability to determine what that creature is saying. Someone said that the creepy voice is telling me to kill myself. Well, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that. And if the creepy voice is saying that, he's saying it to everybody in the room. It would be subliminal, and there isn't anybody that I'm aware of that attends my chat that would be even remotely want to do something like that to themselves. So yeah, they could say it all they want. It's sort of like telling me to eat chocolate if I don't want it. You know, I love chocolate. But if somebody tells me to eat chocolate all day long, I'll probably just do the opposite, because I'm one of those people. If somebody tells me to do something and I don't want to do it, you can talk to your blue in your face, you ain't going to get me to do it. And if my mother were alive today, she would tell you just that. I'm just that kind of person. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a good day. Oh, look at my chicken's carrying off some food with her. She doesn't want anybody else to steal it. And look at how blurry it is. Look at that. There must be some inhuman terrain creature on the property they don't want you to see that's cloaked. Right? You can't even get a good picture of my chicken here. Right, guys? So I'm going to sign off for now. Please remember to hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel grow, get the message out there. And thank you for listening to me and joining in the chat last night in spite of all the technical difficulties.